Welcome to the video. My name is Valentina Humada and I'm going to talk about Azure AI Production Service. My goal with this AI is to assess pronunciation, making an emphasis on fluency and accuracy. The aim I'm looking for with this AI is to create a formative assessment that provides feedback to the students so they can improve their pronunciation each try. I'm going to present the tool. Azure AI Production Assessment is a feature within Azure Cognitive Services that evaluates speech production, speech pronunciation, providing detailed feedback on accuracy, fluency, prosody, grammar, and vocabulary. It's powered by Microsoft and it has a huge data bank about information related to assessment, pronunciation, and grammar principles. I'm going to talk about the features of the program. I'm going to leave down below the description of the video a list with detailed information because for the sake of the time we have to record this, I cannot say all of the things that this AI can do, but I'm going to focus on pronunciation assessment. It can assess accuracy, that is assessing how closely the pronunciation matches the one of the native speaker. It can assess fluency, that analyzes the smoothness and natural flow of speech, prosody, that evaluates elements like stress, intonation, speaking speed, and rhythm, and lastly, grammar and vocabulary feedback. I'm not going to use grammar and vocabulary feedback because my goal is to assess pronunciation, but this tool also provides insights into grammatical correctness and vocabulary usage. So how does it work? Well, this tool processes spoken input by a comparison. It compares the spoken input to a reference text or can evaluate free-form speech. For that, it utilizes advanced neural network models to analyze various aspects of pronunciation and then delivers scores and feedback at multiple levels, including phoneme, word, and full text. So, how do we use it? Okay, I'm going to give you the link down below so you can access the first page automatically. And now that we are on the first page, we're going to select the part that says speech, and we're going to the speech playground where we're going to find many options that we can use with this application, but I'm going to focus again on pronunciation assessment. Now you select pronunciation assessment and it's going to redirect you to another page. There is the assessment playground, where you can assess your pronunciation in the ways that I already talked to you before. You can select many languages, but again, we're focused in English, so that's what we are going to work with. Then you're going to select what you're going to assess, in this case, just prosody assessment. And you can record the audio with a microphone, or you can upload your own recorded audio from your laptop or cell phone, it doesn't matter. And after you do that, it's going to send you directly down below, and down below you can see how did you perform in your audio. You can hear your audio again and you can see a script for your audio. In this part we can see that if you click in a word, you can see mispronunciation, omission, insertions, breaks, missing breaks, or monotone. The omissions are words that are not there, and you can see that if you click over the word, it's going to show you each phoneme and a percentage of how well you did it while pronouncing that word. It shows you then your pronunciation score that is based on accuracy, fluency, prosody, and compliance score. For example, here in the demo, you can see that it has an 88 of 100%. That was the case with evaluating speech from a text. Now we're going to evaluate free-form speech. For that, you go to the part that says speaking, you select the language, again, in this case it's only English, and you can change if you're going to assess prosody and content, or just prosody, or just content. Then you're going to upload your audio. In this case it's the demo version, so it says talk about your day, but the teacher can write their own prompt for that. And again, it shows you the result after you upload your audio. In this case you have a lot of information, but it's easy to digest and it's easy to explain for a teacher to the students. Again, it shows phoneme, it shows your mistakes, and in this case, because it's also content, It has a content for vocabulary, for grammar, and for topic. But we are not assessing that because I'm going to focus on pronunciation, and it gives you the pronunciation score breakdown in accuracy, fluency, and prosody. And again, you can see that this demo student had a 90% of 100% of correctness. So how can we as future teachers use that information that I provided to you to assess pronunciation with your students? How can we translate all of this to classroom setting? Okay, well, the first application is real-time pronunciation feedback. For example, us as teachers can make our students read a text out loud or speak spontaneously into a microphone. The tool will evaluate their pronunciation, will identify specific errors at the phoneme, word, and sentence level, and then provide feedback. Why it's beneficial? Well, it's beneficial for the students because they can practice their pronunciation while receiving instant feedback. And for us as teachers, it's beneficial because we can assign a specific reading task and the tool highlights mispronounced words, enable targeted improvement and deep feedback. One of the main problems is that it's really difficult to assess pronunciation, and it's really difficult to give feedback of pronunciation to your students without having to go all the way. With this application, you can see exactly the word the student has problems with, and you can practice that word over and over until it makes perfection. Again, we're not looking for perfection really, but we're looking for an improvement. And that's what the application helps us to look for improvement. Well, the second application is to assess fluency and intonation. This tool provides an analysis for the stress pitch and intonation patterns, assessing whether the students are portraying the correct emotions according to the prompt given, while also measuring the speech flow, focusing on factors like speed, pauses, and overall rhythm. This can be beneficial for students who have different capacities to portray emotions. We have many variety of students in the classroom. We have a lot of students nowadays with diagnosed autism, with diagnosed neurodivergences that makes sometimes teaching a bit harder. This can help us because if the student, for example, cannot portray the emotion we want them to, we can detect that with this application and we can give feedback to him. We can say, okay, maybe you should say this with a little more of this type of tone or this type of energy, so we can guide them towards, again, not perfection but improvement. One of the challenges we may face also with this tool is that this tool is over reliant on reference text because it works best with unscripted speech, while the free-form or spontaneous speech analysis may not be as precise as we expected. So the feedback may be less detailed or accurate, and it limits the usefulness in tasks like a conversation practice. What can we do to fix this? We can balance script tasks with other assessments to ensure comprehensive language evaluation. Another difficulty is the a high dependency on internet and technical infrastructure because this tool requires a stable internet connection and sufficient compute power to process the speech effectively. So schools or classrooms with limited access to technology may face difficulties implementing this tool. So we can use it selectively for individual or small group assessment where the resources are constrained. And the last and the most important challenge for me is the potential for an overemphasis on perfection. Because the tool is detailed feedback may lead to some students to focus exclusively on perfect pronunciation at the expense of overall communication skills. This could reduce the confidence in natural speaking situations, especially for beginner learners. So what we have to do as teachers, we have to emphasize the importance of communication and intelligibility over perfection. Again, it's not about being perfect, it's about being able to communicate, and it's about improve your skills while you are working on them. So, where assessment principles are supported by this tool? Well, first of all, I think that validity, because this tool can assess relevant skills such as pronunciation, fluency, and intonation that are directly tied to effective spoken communication in English with topics that we already mentioned to the students, for example, with the given prompts of subjects that we already tackle in class. Reliability, because the feedback and scoring that the students get are consistent and unbiased, regardless of external factors such as an accent or, in most of the cases, or bias, like the examiner bias or examiner preferences. Also, I think there is fairness because it supports diverse learners by adapting to regional accents and to variety of proficiency levels, ensuring that it's inclusive for all of our students. In practicality, because at the end of the day, these tools can integrate easily into existing classrooms and reduce the burden of manual assessment for teachers, and something that is really time consuming for us as teachers to assess pronunciation. So I think that those are the four main principles supported. I'm sure there is many more, but I wanted to focus in those particularly. Thank you for watching the video. I'm glad that I can show you this wonderful application with you, and I hope you can give it a try.